Hello everyone, my name is Natalie and you are watching CoinsBank YouTube channel, and I have some great news for you guys. The epic CoinsBank events are coming back this September and it will be held in Turkey. With this series of interviews, we will present our speakers that you will be able to see in Turkey in September at CoinsGang event. And today I have very special friend and very special guest of all CoinsBank events is Mr. John McAfee. Mr. McAfee, hello, and thank you for your time and thank you for being with us today. We really appreciate it. So I have lots of questions to you. I hope we'll have this time to ask everything that I've planned. So my first question will be about privacy. You are known as Mr. Cybersecurity, of course, and lots of people, and especially our audience and people who are paying lots of attention to to keep their private information secure, they curious about your opinion about this COVID-19 lockdown situation. Should we all be afraid about upcoming steps or measures that can be implemented after all this global lockdown situation?
I think already we've had tremendous threats against our privacy. Australia, for example, is thinking about implementing a system to track everybody. That's something out of George Orwell's novel, 1984, a very frightening novel of totalitarianism. This is when governments take opportunities to implement severe measures, because when the people are afraid, then they're willing to accept anything if the government tells them that this is for your own good and this will save you from the thing that you fear.
Do you believe in conspiracy theory in general?
Yeah, I don't think this is a conspiracy at all. I just think it's governments being opportunistic. That is, taking advantage of an opportunity. Again, when people are afraid, governments can take advantage of that opportunity. I don't think there's a conspiracy involved, unless it's a conspiracy of the media, because the media are the only people who have benefited from this pandemic. Prior to it, people spent 8 or 10 hours every day working or traveling to and from work. Weekends, they were out having fun. So the number of hours people spend watching the news was minimum. But when everybody is locked down, then suddenly the value of the media increases because people are doing nothing but watching the news.
I know that it's a big day for you. Your ghost cell phone service is in beta from today. So tell us more about this project. And I've heard lots of information that you are promoting not to use cell phones. And what is so special about your cell phone service?
Well, let's talk a little about privacy first. So many people say if you have nothing to fear, then you have nothing to hide, or if you have nothing to hide, you have nothing to fear. But that's entirely false. Every human being on the planet exercises a different set of privacy filters with every person that they meet. If you sit next to someone on a bus, you're not going to divulge intimate secrets of your life to a total stranger. It's just not happening, okay? A casual acquaintance, well, you might, someone you've met a few times, you might tell them where you work, or where you live perhaps, not much more. A close friend, you might tell even more. To your husband or your wife, you might tell everything, or you might not. We have a separate set of relationships of privacy with our boss and with our children. You don't tell your children what you tell your wife, perhaps. You don't tell your parents what you might tell a good friend. We all know this. Um, if everyone knew everything about everyone else, we would have riots in the street. I mean, starting with wives shooting their husbands for whatever, and vice versa. So privacy is the glue that keeps society harmonious. We have to have secrets from people because everyone does not believe the same set of rights and wrongs. Muslims believe that it's wrong for a woman to show her face. Well, not everybody believes that. There are thousands of different belief systems and world views. Um, and we keep the world sane by keeping quiet about the things that we know might offend somebody else, yet they might be innocent things. So right off the bat, there's no such thing as you know, if you've got nothing to hide, you have nothing to fear. That's nonsense. We all have something to hide. The question is from whom? From your boss, from your wife, from your children. So privacy is utterly important, and it has been removed from us primarily through our smartphones. I mean, our smartphones are the ultimate spy device, starting with your location. I mean, think about how it's almost frightening to me that governments and Google and others know exactly where you are 24 hours a day. Your phone tells them that. It has to connect up to cell towers. They triangulate, and there you are. Um, and your identity. If you're communicating, why would someone demand to know who you are? I mean, if you walk through the woods with a friend to the forest and whisper in their ear, is that against the law? No, I'm sorry. So the ghost phone is an eSIM enabled, emulated SIM. It's the newest technology in connecting to cell phone networks. Prior to the eSIMs, you had to have a little physical SIM that plugged into your phone that was given to you by AT&T or Verizon or somebody. With the eSIM, you just scan a code and suddenly you're connected. With the ghost phone, we ask for no documentation. We don't ask who you are. We don't care. You know, if you're using our service and you pay for it, that's all we care about. So with the ghost phone, no one will know where you are or who you are. That's ultimate freedom. Do you understand? Anonymity is freedom. People go, well, criminals are going to use it. Of course, they're going to use it. Criminals use every technology, people, every technology. In the 1930s, when the 8-cylinder engine came out, twice as fast as the 4 cylinders that the police used, well, bank robbers bought them all. Bank robbery in America increased by a factor of 10 times as many. Why? Well, because the cars were faster. They could rob a bank, hop in a car, and wave to the police as they ran out of town. Does that mean that we should not make fast cars? When the telephone was first invented, it was the mafia, the mob, the criminal element of America that implemented nationwide systems. Why? They could coordinate nationwide criminal activity. Does that mean that the telephone should not exist? No, people. We cannot stop crime. Laws and our legal systems aren't there to anticipate a crime and try and prevent that, please. That can't be done. Criminals will always be with us. It's just simply human nature. as long as humans have greed and anger, jealousy, envy, fear, we're going to have criminals. If you want to fix that problem with humans, then yeah, maybe we can get rid of it. But no. So you cannot say, "Oh, that's bad," because criminals will use it to hide. But I'm sorry. So will non-criminals. So will ordinary citizens that have been denied privacy for so many years. So yes, will they use it? Of course, they use all technologies. But will the average citizen use it? Yes, 100 times, 1,000 times more. And this is what we are doing.
Okay, my next question will be about your upcoming projects. And since our Epic CoinsBank Cruise 2018, you have launched lots of projects that is based and connected
Yes.
with cryptocurrencies and blockchain technology. So it's Ghost Coin, it's Switch DEX. So tell us more about your plans and upcoming project that is related with blockchain and cryptocurrencies.
We just released two, I think, extremely important cryptocurrency features. One is the privacy coin called Ghost. I'm calling everything Ghost, which is privacy related, but the coin, the Ghost coin, our main net just went live a week ago, and it's a true privacy coin. Very similar to Monero, except it has advancements and enhancements over Monero. Monero is an older coin. I'm not dissing Monero. It's a tremendously private coin, very useful, and I have used it myself many times. The problem with all existing privacy coins is that, and if you want to get out of the coin into fiat currency, exchange it for money or for another coin, it must be done on a centralized exchange. And this is the weak point of cryptocurrency. Centralized exchanges are under the thumb of governments. They must adhere to know your customer regulations, anti-money laundering regulations. In order to even sign on to one, you've got to give them documentation about who you are, a copy of your driver's license, your bank information, and so on. So even though you may be transacting business privately, as soon as you get out of that coin, you're found. There you are. And the government can issue a subpoena to that centralized exchange. China shut down every centralized exchange in China 2 years ago. This is right before the anticipated Beijing cryptocurrency conference, which then had to be moved to Hong Kong, for those of you who remember this. So that's how easy it is. You can shut down everything overnight. So the second part of the Ghost coin is the Ghost exchange. It is a true decentralized and distributed exchange. Number one, being decentralized, nobody controls it. Not even us, not even me who created it. Nobody controls it. No one can shut it down. And far more importantly, since no one's controlling it, there's no one to collect your information, okay? It's an autonomous system that's just running itself. So to exchange anything to anything, you don't have to give a name, an address, phone number, no documentation, there's no IP address collected, nothing. Completely anonymous and private. Unfortunately, none of the existing privacy coins, none of the architectures will support a decentralized exchange. So one of the features we built into the Ghost coin is it can be exchanged on decentralized as well as centralized exchanges. And we're currently on 3 or 4 centralized exchanges now, which is fine. But if you want true privacy, our Ghost exchange, it can be exchanged there. And right now you can exchange Ghost for Bitcoin, for Ethereum, for a number of DAI. But I think the most important project that I'm working on is in the past couple of years, there has been major development in stable coins. And what is a stable coin? A stable coin is this coin that never fluctuates in value relative to something else. Like DAI has never fluctuated more than 1% from the value of the US dollar. Never. That's a stable coin. Now, the problem with the stable coins is they're all easy to track, easy to monitor. Most of them based on the Ethereum chain. You can, anybody can look at the wallet, see what came in, what went out, and so there's no privacy at all. We're coming out with the Ghost stable coin in August, actually. That's next month, which is a true stable coin based on DAI. So we know you have absolute guarantee of its stability, but wrapped with the Ghost privacy logic. So that you can now, because stablecoins are used by people if the market's going up or down, or you're afraid your Monero holdings or Bitcoin holdings are going to go down, people now are used to simply just cash out. Well, that's ridiculous. You're getting out of the very thing that's trying to save you from the perils of fiat currency. When stablecoins came along, everybody's now, instead of getting out, just converting to DAI or some other USDT, some other stable currency, and you can keep it there forever. But none of them are private. So we're coming out with the very first private anonymous stable coin. What this means is this is equivalent to the US dollar in every single respect. Only nobody knows who has it. Nobody knows what's being transacted in it. Now, I don't think the US government's going to be happy. They're not happy with me anyway. So I don't think a little more unhappiness is going to hurt me. So yeah, that's the largest project I've been working on, and my most exciting project, and that will be coming out in August. And I think that's going to change the entire face of crypto. Not the crypto investing that people do. I don't invest in crypto. I use cryptocurrencies for what they're intended for. That this is going to change the face of cryptocurrency usage.
What is the idea that you would like to share in Turkey at our event? And the second question, are you ready to travel in general after this lockdown?
I'll certainly travel to Turkey. It's very safe. I have no problem with that. Cannot travel to America, but yes, no problem with Turkey. So here's what I'll be talking about. First and foremost, the current state of the cryptocurrency universe. Where are we in relation to governmental control, to new developments, attitudes of investors, attitudes of developers, and so on. And then talk about the privacy aspect of it all. And then what I always do, open up the last half to questions on anything that people would like to ask me.
Sounds great. We're really excited to have you as our very special guest in Turkey. So welcome once again. And maybe you have something to say, the last words to our audience, to all our visitors who are watching us now and who will be present in Turkey.
Yeah, I would say the following. If you have an interest in cryptocurrency, please, I have no problem with investing and risking. People go to Las Vegas and gamble. However, if that's all that you're doing, you are missing the true spirit and value of cryptocurrency. I mean, cryptocurrency, if you use it properly and see it for the truth of it, can free you and everyone from the control of an corrupt, overburdened government demanding to know everything that you're doing, especially your finances. It can give you a system which is permissionless, meaning you don't need anybody's permission. Not the banks, not the governments, nobody's. And trustless, meaning there's no intermediary. There's no, you got to trust the bank, you have to trust the exchange. No trust involved. It's just between you and the party that you're transacting business with. So please, if you can just wean yourself away from investing enough to see the deeper value of crypto, you will benefit from that. I hope to see everyone at Turkey because number one, we're in a crucible here, and this is the most fortuitous time and the most crucial time for cryptocurrency. And the avant-garde, the leading edge of developers and thinkers will be there. And I'm personally looking forward to shaking all of your hands. Thank you.